Now your forecast first.
Sponsored by ESL Federal Credit Union.
The center of the leftovers of Henri are currently near New York City. That's a good distance away from us, but just close enough for some banded showers and storms, mainly into the Finger Lakes. Otherwise, Rochester is just hot and dry. It's going to get hotter as we start to move forward. Evening stays largely quiet. We go back into the middle and upper 80s tomorrow. I think by Wednesday, we're going to be seeing some of the hottest air we have seen in more than a month. The latest numbers coming up.
Also ahead, the Pfizer COVID vaccine gets full approval from the FDA, what this means for possible vaccine mandates in the U.S. Plus,
thank you for the honor of serving as governor of New York. Thank you for the honor of serving you.
Governor Cuomo addresses the people of New York State on his last day in office.
From the team you can trust. This is News 8 First at 4.
Good evening. Today, Governor Cuomo is officially stepping down as the 56th governor of New York State. After more than a decade in office, it was the investigation from the Attorney General's office that led to the 63-year-old resigning. That report found Cuomo had sexually harassed multiple women, including current and former state employees. Now, on his last day in office, the governor addressed the people of New York one last time. Allie Peters joins us in studio with what he had to say.
For the last 11 years, Governor Cuomo has represented the state of New York through a global pandemic, hurricanes, marriage equality, and legalizing marijuana. But now his reign comes to an end after accusations came to light that found Cuomo sexually harassed 11 women. Over the past decade, Andrew Cuomo has been one of the most widely known governors in the country. He became a trusted face for many during the COVID-19 pandemic, even winning an Emmy for his daily briefings. But he also faced a lot of criticism, specifically with his handling of nursing homes during the height of the pandemic, as his administration was accused of covering up deaths and forcing homes to accept ill patients. And then, just a week ago, from an attorney general's report that said Cuomo sexually harassed multiple women. That 5-month investigation led to numerous lawmakers and even the president himself calling on the governor to step down. Now, 2 weeks from his resignation announcement, Cuomo spoke as governor to New Yorkers for his last time during a 15-minute address. He again denied the harassment allegations against him, but also said stepping down was what's best for New Yorkers.
I am a fighter, and my instinct is to fight this because it is unfair and unjust in my mind. But you also know that I love New York, and I serve you. That is the oath that I took. And in this moment, I believe the right thing is that my service come first. We didn't get everything done that we wanted to, or even everything we should have done. And we didn't always get it quite right. But I want you to know, from the bottom of my heart, that every day I worked my hardest. I gave it my all, and I tried my best to deliver for you.
In his address, the government also talked about New York's fight against COVID and applauded residents for their resilience. He advised schools to mandate vaccinations for teachers, masks to be worn in high-risk areas, and private businesses to require vaccines for large gatherings. As for what's next for Cuomo, it's still unclear, but he did file for retirement last week, effective September 1st. It's estimated that he will receive a pension of $50,000 a year. In the studio, Allie Peters, News 8.
All right, Allie, thank you. Lieutenant Governor Kathy Hochul, of course, also a Democrat, will become New York's first female governor. She gets sworn in at midnight tonight during a private ceremony. Now to the latest on COVID. The U.S. Food and Drug Administration has fully approved the Pfizer COVID vaccine for Americans 16 and up. How does this shape doctors' approaches to treating patients and mandates? Alex Love joins us to explain after speaking to doctors.
Dr. Mendoza with the Monroe County Health Department tells us this doesn't change how the county is handling vaccine distribution or what they can or can't enforce. It does, however, open the door for schools and businesses to easily require vaccines for employees. Doctors from both Rochester Regional and URMC commended this approval, emphasizing it's proof the vaccine is safe and extremely effective against the virus, making it past all necessary government regulations. Pfizer sent in the request for this back in May, which prompted doctors and personnel with the FDA to go through all the company's data, analyzing who took the vaccine in each phase of testing, while inspecting how it's made at Pfizer's factories all around the world. Those 12 to 15 are still eligible to get the vaccine. However, this age group is still operating under emergency use as more data is needed to meet FDA standards for full approval.
These vaccines are scrutinized by a very large number of individuals and coming from very different backgrounds to assess their safety. The discussions that take place are very long. They review an enormous amount of data.
As for Moderna and Johnson & Johnson, they plan to submit their applications for full FDA approval later this year, but Pfizer remains the most commonly used dose, reaching the arms of over 92 million Americans. In the newsroom, Alex Love, News 8.
All right, Alex, thank you. SUNY officials say with the approval, all students are now required to get vaccinated. The school system announced back in July that once the FDA approved a COVID vaccination, it would move forward with the mandate. A survey taken of around 35,000 students within the SUNY system showed about 72% of them had already received at least their first dose of the vaccine. In New York City, all public school teachers and other staffers will have to get vaccinated against the coronavirus. Officials announced the new policy today. The city previously said teachers, like other city employees, would have to get the shots or get tested weekly for the virus. The new policy marks the first flat-out vaccination mandate for city workers in the nation's most populated city. School starts September 13th for New York City. In the last 24 hours, the U.S. and its allies have evacuated approximately 16,000 people out of Afghanistan to processing centers outside the country. This comes as there is a growing threat of attacks on U.S. forces and thousands of people huddled outside the airport. They're hoping for a safe escape. U.S. officials say the threat of terrorist attacks on U.S. forces at the airport is growing, so the military is looking into extending the safe zone around the airport.
Every day we have troops on the ground. These troops and innocent civilians at the airport face the risk of attack from ISIS-K from a distance, even though we're moving back the perimeter significantly.
The president's deadline to complete the withdrawal from Afghanistan is next week, but he now says he may be flexible with the timeline in order to finish the evacuations. Now to the forecast. Chief Meteorologist Eric Snadel is tracking the chance for showers tonight, and it's awfully muggy out there, Eric.
It sure is. Dew points way up there. That's really going to be our big takeaway over these next few days, this afternoon included, just how muggy that air feels. And it's been wet at times too. Canandaigua, it is a lot nicer right now than it was just about an hour ago. Some heavy storms were in. They are now out. And now this is what we get to track. Dew points, measure of moisture at the surface. When you start getting 70 or more, boy, do you feel it. This is a tropical air mass around here. 72 at the airport, Dansville coming in at a whopping 74. This is the kind of dew points that you would get in New Orleans or Miami, Florida. So you factor in some of the heat right now, which really is not that bad. It's mainly the humidity that we're feeling here. It's 85 at the airport, but it makes that heat index jump to 91. And this is going to be a very big player, we think, especially tomorrow and Wednesday of this week, as some of this heat will continue to build across western New York. Let's take this to about 8:30. That'll be round about the time I think we lose the 80-degree mark, so much more pleasant feeling. Although understand, even here, there's a lot of humidity in the air, but if you're looking to go take a walk or a run, that's much more appropriate the time to do it than in the middle of the day right now. Showers and storms on radar, all of this on the western periphery of the remnants of Henri. Not significant, but we do have some quick-hitting downpours now centered across southern Livingston County. There's Mount Morris toward Letchworth. We've got the West Sparta area southward toward Dansville, but they're not lasting long. These are about 5 or 10-minute quick hitters, and then they drop south of there. Naples on the east side getting some rainfall. Lake shadowed a little bit here across Lake Ontario, so we haven't seen much developing across the Rochester area. Just a tiny chance we get anything that continues as we start to move forward. Center, by the way, of Henri, this is still a thing. Now, it's no longer a tropical storm, anything like that, but the center of circulation is now just on the north side of New York City, and only now is this thing finally going to get the boot off to the east, and it will start to pull most of this rainfall away with it. Notable notably drier day as we go into tomorrow. Rest of the evening, we'll watch the radar start to quiet down. Overnight lows tonight, if we're lucky, get in the mid to upper 60s. But when you're this muggy, it's tough to drop much cooler than that. Highs into the afternoon tomorrow. This is still under control for one more day. Mid 80s. I think it's a mostly sunny sky as we stay largely rain-free on Tuesday. But the core of the heat is set to build from there, and that will build into Wednesday, which looks to me to be the hottest one of this work week. This might end up being the hottest one we've had in about a month and a half around here. New model data coming in today suggesting we could be looking at highs in Rochester Wednesday afternoon into the low 90s, and it's been a while since we have seen a 90-plus degree high around here. Good thing with this, yes, it's going to be hot and humid through Wednesday, but that looks like the peak. This is somewhat short-lived. Upper 80s with a passing cold front on Thursday. That will drop some showers and storms into the mix. We come back to earth on Friday, only to shoot back into the mid-80s with a few more storms around, John, going into the weekend. All
right, Eric, thank you very much. You know, for many of the robust apple orchards in the region, today was the first day of the harvest. I took my cameras to Sodus this morning. My friends at Lake Breeze Fruit Farms there have been working these fields for generations. The DeBotts family has lots of experience growing fruit. The harvest began at 6 this morning. The first apples to come off the trees are early gold. Then it'll be ginger gold. They grow about 20 different varieties of apples here. I'm told the apples are a bit larger than in years past due to all the rain we've had this summer. They're endless acres of orchards situated along Lake Ontario, prime farming land. They'll get a break around Labor Day, then focus on the popular McIntosh and Cortland apples, those red apples. It is a fun time of year as we slowly exit August, get into September, and then ultimately that autumn season. Apple season has arrived. Pretty cool. It's time now for the News 8 photo album. Today's picture comes to us from Karen Ardillo. Beautiful Honeoye Lake at dusk, and I believe that was last evening, because that's the sky that I saw last night, and the calm waters of the lake. Beautiful capture, Karen. Honored to have it as part of our collection. Final check now of the forecast with Eric. If you're in the Finger Lakes, you've got some downpours here for the remainder of the evening. A lot of us, though, in and around Rochester, that rain chance notably lower. Just a partly cloudy sky. We'll continue to quiet radar down going into the overnight hours. Middle and upper 60s by early tomorrow morning. Hot and humid. That goes nowhere tomorrow. It really goes nowhere on Wednesday. High near 91 degrees. Waiting on the cold front by Thursday, John. All right, Eric, thank you. We're back on the main broadcast line for News 8 at 5 in a bit. Have a great day.